Hey everybody, so I wanted to make a video today and just do an overview of the market. So starting with SPY, I just want to point out something. We're going to look at the 1 month time frame here. And I know it looks a little messy, so I'm going to get out the moving averages here. Now there's two trend lines that I want to point out. There's this one right here, which you can see, this is the one that we're following right here. And then this one right here, we invalidated it today. So here we're following this trend line, and you can see that we actually bounced off pretty hard off that. So in my opinion, I think it's very likely that we just bounce back and forth between these two. But if we ever break below this trend channel, or this trend line, I mean, then I think we could see quite some pain. So I would definitely pay attention to this trend line. And the way that you would draw it is you would just draw it from this bar right here through this gap right here and then catch the bottoms right there. So make sure you have this line drawn on your charts if you don't have it already. And if we're just looking at the actual price action, now I'm going to introduce the moving averages again. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The technicals look pretty bullish. So we closed above the 50, above the 200. But I also do want to point out that the candlestick formation that we have right here is a doji. So it's kind of an indecision candle. But look where we bounced off. We bounced right off the 50. So to me, we found support on the 50 day. So it's hard to say that we're going to be bearish just because of the way that the charts look. But you have to keep in mind that there's all sorts of headline risks. And today, the stock market actually weathered them pretty well. I mean, we had the more hawkish Fed. We have talks with China not really, they're not really amounting to much. They're kind of hiding the news on that. So I'm assuming it didn't go too well, the Biden Xi phone call. We got oil prices going up significantly. We have COVID cases in China. Uh, Ukraine situation seems to get worse. So there's all sorts of headline risks, but somehow the market barely fell today, like 13 cents. So to me, that says that we're probably going to have short term bullishness. And I don't know how short term this is going to be, but right now it seems like the Bulls are definitely in control. Just because if we just look on the day, we basically sold off significantly. We didn't even touch the 50 day, but we almost did. And then we bounced significantly. And then here at the close, I mean, you get these dark pool prints, and then all of a sudden you get all this buying. So, this isn't really retail buying. I mean, look at these candles, or the volume profile. Pretty significant. So now I'm going to QQQ, and then we see the same thing. We see the doji, and then I want to show the trend lines also. So pretty similar trend lines. You can see that we invalidated this one, and now we're following this one right here. So make sure you have this one drawn as well. You can see it caught all of these bottoms. And when we look on the year, we closed under the 50, but you can see at the start of the day we're over it. And doji again. So there's a little bit of indecision here, but just looking at the chart here, we got higher highs, higher lows. So I mean, to me, this kind of looks pretty bullish, short-term bullish. No idea how short-term that's going to be, but yeah. And then yeah, we have that break of the downtrend, which is pretty clear right here. So as you can see, we basically broke that downtrend, and then have this strong rally up here. But I do still think that we need to cool down at some point. I just don't know where we're going to cool down to. So, I mean, my thoughts are when we do have that pullback, it could just be a small one, you know. We could go to this 346 area on QQQ, which we basically did today. Or we could go all the way down here to 340. Now, I would feel better about this market if we just quickly tanked to 340 and then we rallied back up. Then I would feel significantly more bullish about the market. But as things stand right now, I still think there's a lot of risk. Now, looking at Tesla, we can see that there's a clear break. You can see right here. We closed above the 50-day, but look where we're finding resistance. Right here. And you can see exactly why this is resistance. It's there's this gap right here. You can see there's this touch point right there, another gap, and multiple touch points right here. So this 948 area is definitely acting as resistance. And you can see on the day we almost got there pretty much, a few dollars off. So if Tesla does break that area, to me it would seem pretty bullish. And then I would think that we would go for the 100-day moving average here at 987. Now Apple got rejected right here on the 50-day, closed a few cents under the 100-day. But overall, you still see this breakout here. So Apple right now is still within this trend channel. It actually got back in this trend channel. So bullish until otherwise proven, yeah. Google got pretty close to the 200-day. It's above the 50-day. It found support on the 50-day when we were falling earlier today on the Fed. And you can see this area is continued resistance right here. It's about 2,740. And I would actually line this up probably with this right here, the bottom of this red bar right here. So this probably could be like 2,756 about, which is pretty darn close to the 200-day. Then you can also see that we broke this downtrend as well. So all these major stocks are breaking these downtrends. So it's hard for me to say chart-wise that we're bearish, but definitely just given all the news going on, I mean, things seem very, very, very bearish. Now, looking at the dollar, now the dollar started the day pretty strong, and then it faded very hard. And then during the Fed talk, it rallied again. So overall, the dollar is up by 0.25 points. So if we zoom out, dollar seems bullish. And generally, when the dollar is bullish, it's not too good for stocks. And then we're going to look at Microsoft. Now, when we look at Microsoft, it's above the 50-day, but it's below the 200-day. And then we're also below this trend channel here as well. So if Microsoft does make it above the 200-day and back within the trend channel, then that's going to look a lot more bullish. And then I'm going to look at commodities here real quick. So crude and Brent definitely had pretty strong moves. You can see crude is up to 110 right now for WTI, and for Brent it's 116. But the market seems to just be shrugging this off, like all of a sudden it doesn't care. So there's a lot of things to worry about in this market. So my personal thoughts are I'm just going to avoid this entire rally because I know later in the year, right around the midterm elections, I'm probably going to see another opportunity to buy. So I don't think I'm going to be missing out on anything. And if I'm buying now, I just think that there's significantly more risk just going into CPI for April and potentially weak earnings season. So that's my thoughts for today. And I hope